everyone, welcome to the garden tour. I have made a lot of changes in our garden since we're transitioning from summer to fall, and I've had some plants and vegetables actually give me some second go around, so I'm excited to show you what we have going on today. Here are my little pumpkins that I started. They are taking a long time. I don't know if I'm gonna have pumpkins before October, but I have the little guys started here, so we will see if my dream of mini pumpkins climbing up my trellis will come true. My basil is still going really well, so I am going to cut some more off today and make some more pesto. Okay friends, I'm really excited to share this recipe with you. It is so easy. We had 2 cups of fresh basil. We have a half a cup of olive oil. I have a half a cup of pine nuts, and I'm also going to add in the garlic. It says 2 cloves of garlic, but I don't like a ton of garlic, so I definitely reduced the garlic, but it depends on how much you like. Add it in. Again, it's 2 cups of fresh basil leaves, so I just left these so it could be aesthetically pleasing to look at as I put these in here. And then we have 3/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, and also lemon juice. It's supposed to be 1/4 cup, but I feel like that's too much, so I do half a lemon and I squeeze it on. And then we have 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, which I never measure, and a half a teaspoon of salt to taste, so I add that in as well. And then we're just gonna chop it on up into the food processor, which is one of my favorite things to do. I like a thicker pesto, so I tend to add a little less liquids than the recipe calls for. And to store the pesto, I go ahead and put it in an ice cube tray because I like to just keep them in the freezer all winter. It's super easy and it stays fresh, and I've used it many months later and it is seriously delicious. So you should try it, and let's head on back to the garden tour. Not stopping. I may try to actually bring it inside and pot it and see what happens throughout the winter. This is where the cucumbers once were, climbing up this trellis. I planted green beans here for the fall, and I did it by seed and they've come up, so we will see how many green beans we're able to get. This black cherry tomato plant is still going strong, so I'm happy. I have lots of little cherry tomatoes still coming along, and we'll see how this goes throughout the fall. I think the black cherry tomatoes are actually like so pretty, and I was excited that I planted a different kind of variety this year, but it looks like I need to come out here and pick some more. We also still just have our one little watermelon left. We had another one that we cut open. It was great this past week, and this watermelon here I think is pretty much ready to go. So this is probably our last one of the season. And you guys, I have jalapenos, which this is so crazy. I planted this so late, just like for fun. I was like, there's no way that this is actually gonna have anything on it. And look at these, they actually are doing really good. So I'm pumped about it. I haven't had success with peppers, and these jalapenos are still coming along. This lettuce was a waste. It's already bolting. I mean, it was not worth planting, but I did. It was cool and it felt like fall vibes, and then it got so hot, so I think this just bolted so quickly, but I might just rip this out and use some lettuce for today. If you come over here, there's a new little flower on my squash, so I might just leave this. I was gonna rip it out, but our one lonely squash is still doing well. So I have the other ones inside, but I might go ahead and pick this one pretty soon. This is our carrot little tiny bed, and I had carrot seeds all on this side too, but my chickens got in here and ripped up this side. Luckily they didn't rip up this side, so I have a few carrots coming along here. I think I need to possibly do some thinning. It looks like maybe here these are ready to thin. I hate thinning, so basically you put a couple seeds in, and then when they start to come out, you have to make the decision to rip one out because it's going to be too many carrots in one area. So I'm going to do a little research before I do that, but it looks like it's getting ready to hit that point. here are our little baby spinaches. They looked like they were doing really well, and now I feel like they are struggling a little bit. So I'm going to water them today. I'm not sure if these are gonna hang on. Again, it was cool and then it got super hot here. So I wonder if it was just too hot for them. And here we have our beets. So my beets have come up, which I'm really excited about. But again, it looks like I need to thin them because I probably overdid it, you guys. Like, I got so sick of beets not being successful that I just decided to put a ton in the ground, and I did. So I'm gonna have to thin these out, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get some really good yummy beets. Our tomato plant is still going strong, so I need to go in here. I'm out here now. I need to clean this up. You can see there's lots of dead parts that I need to go in and clean, and I need to pick. But these tomatoes are doing great. These sun-dried cherry tomatoes are so good. So many of our friends and family love them. They are delicious, and I'm so excited they're still going strong. And this tomato plant, same thing, still going strong. I mean, it looks like it's kind of fallen over a little bit, but oh my gosh, I have so many tomatoes to harvest. So I'm doing salsa, so this will be perfect. And this is Charles. Charles always begs me for snacks when I'm working in the garden. He loves cherry tomatoes. He will just stare at me and cry like that until I give him a snack. And this is when Charles gets in the garden and I have to chase Charles around. Charles, go out. Come on, Charles. Charles. Charles, get out. Charles knows where the big tomatoes are and she loves to get them. Charles. Okay, get out, Charles. Go. Fly away. Come on. Out, out, out. Go out, go out, go out. Go out, Charles. Good job, Charles. Don't come back in. Charles is very naughty. How do you sneak in? Huh? How are you sneaking in? Okay, and here I have these tie-dye tomatoes, which I am so excited because my chickens got a ton of them. I have some inside as well, but they're actually looking really good and ready, a lot of them ready to be picked. So that's super exciting, and they're huge too. It's like, I'm really proud of these. So this one looks like something got into it, but these little ones up here. So the tomatoes are definitely coming along. We're getting a second little wind. Let's look at that one. Ooh. And I'm really excited. Okay, and here are the pumpkins, and I am not having much hope in this. I planted pumpkins last year and they were so easy. I don't know if it was too hot this year or what, but I mean, I'm thinking these don't look great. This one, I'm not sure. Maybe it'll come along. I don't know. I'm really surprised that they're doing so badly so far, but I guess we'll see. And our kale is still going strong. Kale looks great, so no complaints about the kale here. And for those who have been watching, this is where the corn was. So this just got very much out of control. My husband is just itching to get in here and rip all of this up, which we'll probably do next weekend. We did have one little watermelon left, but it looks like it's getting maybe diseased. I'm not sure. So I might just pick it and cut it open and see what we have. But this, I think, is our last one. This one looks like it was getting one, but obviously not happening anymore. But we did pretty good on our melons this year. This is everything that I was able to harvest right now. We have the tie-dye tomatoes on this side, and then obviously my cherry tomatoes. This one I felt like was so crazy. So that's like wild. And we have some other ones that were pretty good sizes that look pretty good. I tend to pick them early and then I let them ripen in the house because I feel like I have better success that way. This one also, it's a massive one. It's a big girl right here. So yeah, tomatoes turned out nicely. I also decided to go ahead and pull out this squash as well. So I have 5 squashes that I need to cook with this week. Decided to call it with this tomato plant, which I have a really hard time deciding to be done on a plant, but I'm excited because this year I have chickens that I can give the plants to. And if you see, there are some tomatoes on here that the chickens will probably have a good time trying to get. Okay friends, this concludes our little garden tour for now. And I hope this inspires you. Start small. Sometimes when you're gardening, things fail, like that stupid lettuce that I planted that was a waste of energy that already bolted and it was worthless, but that's okay. You know, we learn from these things. So that's part of gardening. So dig in, friends. I really do hope this inspires you. Get a pot, throw it in your backyard and on your patio, whatever, and try to grow something yourself. I promise you won't regret it. Also friends, if you didn't know, I do a coffee and conspiracy podcast, and I just published an episode regarding the food pyramid. It's just kind of fun and has some information in it and history that I think is important and might shed some light onto also why I believe in growing your own food the best that you can. Also, I feel like it's important to say, like, we're never going to be able to cut out everything. We're never going to be able to cut out every processed food. It sounds impossible and really overwhelming when you like step back and look at the big picture. So even if it starts with growing basil on your windowsill, go for it. Dip your toe in the water and try it out and see what you think. Plant a tomato plant. Go ahead and try to bake some homemade bread. Again, it's just small steps, a little bit at a time, day at a time. We're not gonna be able to change our lifestyles overnight, but you might try something and just like me, be surprised at how much fun you actually think it is and how much you actually enjoy it. This helps inspire you to just consider doing something you maybe wouldn't have. And yeah, so make sure you check out that episode if you're interested. And okay, that's all I really got for you. So I'll talk to you soon. Hey there, if you enjoyed this and would like to hear more from me, I have a weekly podcast called Your Morning Start, published on Tuesdays and Fridays to help get our days started with a biblical perspective. It's available on Apple, Podbean, Amazon, and Spotify. I would love for you to take a listen. I hope to talk to you soon.